There is a metamorphosis. There is a physical change that needs to take place for you to experience the supernatural change. And what it drew me to was Romans 12:2. And the word says, do not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. And so as I begin to digest that this morning, as I begin to worship God, he was just leading me to tell you all about your thought process. That you can't experience a ridiculous restoration without a radical faith. You have to have a radical faith of change in your thought process. That the word in Isaiah 26:3 talks to us about how when we keep our minds on him, he will keep us in perfect peace. Those that are righteous, those that are holy, those that are called to him. And a lot of us haven't been able to experience a ridiculous restoration because we haven't changed our thinking. See, a lot of our mind, a lot of what we're experiencing in life, a lot of what we're going through is attached to our thinking. When we change our mindset, when we go through those process of changes, when we submit our mind to Christ, when we begin to submit every accusation from the enemy and submit it to the blood of Jesus, that's when we get to experience the change and the restoration in our lives. It begins with our thinking. This is why every day we have to wake up and not just glorify God, not just worship God, but ask him to come into our minds, ask him to help us to be fixated on him in order to experience the peace of him, the peace of who he is, because life keeps going. And God really put in my spirit that he wants to do a metamorphosis in some of us. He wants to change us. He wants to take us from one state of being to another state of being in who he is. But here's the key. The key is to remain in him. The key is to keep your eyes fixated on him, because when you stay fixated on him and you allow him to change you and transform your thinking, there's a perfect peace that comes with that. You won't look like what you've been through because you have the peace of God that surrounds you. It's about changing your perspective. It's about changing your mind. It's about being transformed by the renewing of your mind every single morning. But that takes belief. And that takes a radical faith. You have to believe that God is going to finish what he started in you, that God is going to bring to pass what he has started in your life. That's not just going to affect you, but have a ridiculous restoration in your bloodline. And just like Abraham had to believe what God had said. Like Noah, he had to believe that even if he looked crazy, that God had promised us something, that God had promised a restoration of the world. God had promised something major, and God has promised you some major things. But sometimes what happens is that the enemy will come on in and he'll accuse us. And we have to be so fixated on God. We have to be so fixated on Christ that we don't believe and fall into the trap of the lies of the enemy. Here's the key, and this is what the Lord dropped, is you have to keep your mind on me. You have to keep your eyes on me, the source. That in your process of change, in your place of change, there's going to be some pruning, some shaking, some unlayering, and it's not going to feel good. There's going to be an unlayering of dirt. There is going to be an unlayering of unrighteousness, of unholiness, and it's not always going to feel good because you're dying to your flesh every single day, but your soul is being revived. There's a restoration that is happening in your soul. No matter what it looks like, keep your eyes on him. You're in a process of change. Keep your eyes on him. People left you. Keep your eyes on him. People rejected you. Keep your eyes on him. You're going through something physical in your body. Keep your eyes on him. You got a bad news report from the doctor. Keep your eyes on him, on the one who gives us perfect peace, on the one who said that he will finish what he started, on the one who has promised us to overcome every transgression. By the stripe of Jesus, we are healed. On the one who has given us life, on the one who is I am, on the one who is the beginning and the end, on the one who is Alpha and Omega, on the one who is above and not beneath, on the one who is the head and not the tail, on the Lion of Judah. You have to keep your eyes on the one.